So we have a former mentee of TD Jakes, Mentee Jordan is his name, we've spoken about before, and he is saying some very interesting stuff. Hey guys, it's Murad Morali, hopefully you guys are all doing well today, back again with another video. If you have not subscribed, click that button guys. It is daily and consistent content coming to you from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Just went and did my shopping, settled into my apartment, went to the gym, and I'm into the flow of things, into the flow of the day, and then New Year's Eve tomorrow. It's going to be an absolute madness. Just being here for a while, I'm so here for it. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this. So we've spoken about Mentee Jordan before. Now he's discussing in his recent YouTube Shorts video about more victims. A lot of people are coming to him and confiding to him.
Contacting me. Just recently today, I've heard from 2 other victims that so it's just a lot to talk about, that experienced the same thing that I experienced. They were younger. And it's very hard to talk about these things because most of the time people get overshadowed with the gift of that particular person. Oh, they're so gifted, they're a great singer, they're a great preacher, oh, look what they did for the community. But gifts and callings come without repentance. And 2 of the offenders were not only a victim of grooming, as what I described in some of my previous videos, but of SA, sexual assault, from the same predator that groomed me and that violated me as a man. They're going to be pressing charges, and as much as this is an uncomfortable conversation to have, especially with people who don't know what it feels like, so it's kind of hard to be in someone's shoes, and other people who say, well, why now? Why now? Because they don't understand the emotional, the psychological effects that it has on someone. I know 2 of the victims, which
about what's happened to them as young boys, most likely young black boys in this instance, in regards to churches, and how they've been essayed, how they've been used and abused in so many different ways. So we've looked at P. Diddy and these freak-offs, and the lawsuits and what he's doing to those girls and etc. It opened a can of worms, not just for him, but for TD Jakes as well. And now that could open up a huge can of worms of the young boys being essayed in churches. I've discussed my own story of essay to an extent. I haven't done a separate video on my own story, and I will. Unfortunately, a lot of my story was taken from me and used in a very nasty way. But I'd spoken about how I relate to P. Diddy's story. Mentee Jordan, I really relate to that as well. And speaking about TD Jakes and speaking about P. Diddy, to me it's important because we're pushing the narratives and the stories to the forefront for people to understand and realize that young boys of color are being essayed left, right and center, and we end up being forgotten. And it doesn't just happen in the music industry. It doesn't happen in the schools, in families. It also happens in the religious entities, whether it's mosques, whether it's churches, whether it's temples, synagogues. It happens everywhere. It transcends religion, culture and race. Transcends all 3. I think it's very important to understand. So everything Mentee Jordan is saying, he's also saying now that he is experiencing PTSD by these victims coming out to him from the church. And so I also experienced significant amount of PTSD by discussing it, so I can understand his story, and maybe I'll interview him, or maybe I'll get in touch with him, because I can really understand, and then maybe it'll be a powerful story from both of us, both now men as color who've experienced SA both in religious entities and in other environments, and how we coexist and work towards helping others. And these people are coming to him. He's a former mentee of TD Jakes. He doesn't mention that TD Jakes is the one that did things. It could be somebody else, but I also find it quite coincidental that Mentee Jordan is now speaking up about everything going on in churches and exposing them, and the grooming and the essay and etc. as soon as the TD Jakes stuff hit the fan. So if rumors are true and TD Jakes is somebody who's been essaying so many young boys, this is going to be a far bigger, serious conversation. This is not salacious gossip. I do not treat the TD Jakes updates that I give you as salacious gossip. It's just us potentially getting closer to the story if that is what to be the case. The crux of the story and what we have to remember are the young boys and how we can prevent them from being SA'd. If there was somebody out there who could have prevented me from being SA'd, it would have changed my entire life to be so more positive than the pain that I experienced. Believe you me, we have to set an example for our younger generation, and I feel like Manasseh Jordan is doing that. I also feel like I'm doing that, and this is the blessing in disguise from this whole TD Jakes P Diddy scandal related stories, is that this is what we need to be pushing. Anyways, make of this what you will. Subscribe to the channel, click that button, guys. It is daily and consistent content. I would appreciate it. It's just one click, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.